Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am ranking Duran Gray albums. Duran Gray is my favorite band. They are a metal band from Osaka, Japan. And they have been active since I think 1997, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Duran Gray fans, if any of you watch my video. So, yeah, let's get on with this. Real quick, before I start anything. This setup in the back took me forever to get up. Just wanted to say that real quick. And his jacket, it's a Nightmare Before Christmas Jack Skellington sweatshirt. So I love the movie, have the tattoo, and wanted to do the sleeve, so I might as well get dedicated to this film and whatever. So yeah, wanted to point that out just for the fun of it. First album we have, and which is my least favorite Duran Gray album, is their first album, which is Gauze. Gauze was released in 1999, and well, it's not really a metal album. It's more or less along the lines of Visual Kei, which is, I think, more popular at the time. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's their lightest album out of everything they've released. It sounds more poppy at points, and it's an okay album. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite, so that's why it's at the bottom. My favorite song on the album is probably either Cage or Sumitu Batsu. So, yeah, have a listen to Cage. The next album we have is their second album, because I can't rank shit, is Macabre. Macabre is a more experimental album, I guess you'd say, with weirder sounding songs. This is where they start to get a little more weird and out there and whatever. Tracks like Injection, Berry, KR Cube, and Hydra show the more experimental nature in their sound, with the bass guitar being the main focus of Injection. Here, have a listen. Heads up real quick. The more I like an album, the more I will talk about it. Just wanted to point that out real quick. That's why I quickly went over those two. Anyway, next album is their third, and cliche and whatever. Going first is my least favorite, second is my second least favorite, and third is my third whatever. Anyway, third is Kisu, which was released in 2002. This sounds very 2002 to me. Like, it just sounds like it's from this specific time, with songs like The Domestic Fucker Family, yes really, Zomboid, and Keigaku Tenno. God, I don't even remember what that song was called already. It's so long. is sounding like it's straight from that year itself. So it also has like 3 interludes, which are instrumental. They all just sound very 2002 also. The entire album just sounds very 2002. To me at least, I don't know. But I love the album. So, have a listen. Next, we have their newest album, released in 2018, The Insulated World. This is a more prog metal, prog rock-ish album, with there still being moments of extreme heaviness and whatever. Kyo, the singer, still flexes his insane range, might I add. Forgot to point that out. Every member of this band is insanely talented. Just, they're all talented. Give them awards, I don't care. But forgot what song I put in this. I chose the show in this. I think it was Keigaku no Yoku, or yeah, that's what it was. Shows that Kyo can go from Kyo, the singer, can go from normal singing to growling in just a few seconds, and then just high screaming and whatever. Have a listen. Okay, the next album we have is Vulgar from 2003. This is the album that is infamous for having their song Obscure, which I put in my high school yearbook of 2019 to 2020 under their playlists and whatever. So just in the yearbook there's Obscure by Darren Gray. Anyway, this album sounds more, gets heavier from Kisu, which was released a year before, and this often gets described as new metal, and I heavily disagree. This does not sound like new metal at all. It sounds like more just heavier metal to me, just regular heavy metal or whatever, just avant-garde, I guess. I don't know. My favorite song besides Obscure is Shokunobi, or Increased Blue, one or the other. Shokunobi being a slower and more droning song, and Increased Blue being insanely fast and kind of sounds like punk rock points to me. So, have a listen to Obscure. Next up we have Arch, released in 2014, I think, if I remember right. This is also a more prog metal album, but it is insanely, how would I say, spooky, I guess? I don't know. The song Oroko, which translates to fish scales in English, sounds like a haunted house to me. Sounds like what you'd hear in a haunted house, I guess. With Kyo doing his entire range almost. I'm going growling, screeching, high vocals, regular vocals pretty much. This man is insanely talented. Let's just leave it up. And heads up, before you proceed, the video I'm going to show has flashing lights. So if you are sensitive to flashing lights, look away now. Please have a listen. We are reaching the final four of this video, so I'm going to get way more in depth with each album. Next one is Dum Spero Spero, or Dum Spero Spero, I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's some Latin maybe. Anyway, it's from 2011. This is a heavier album, like really heavy. This has the song Different Sense on it, which is about tentacles, I think, if I remember right. I'll let you figure out the rest from there. This is more insane, I guess you'd call it. With each song just getting more and more out there. To me, there is no song on this album that sounds the same. That sounds like the last. You go from track 2, Blossom Beelzebub, track 3, Different Sense. They're two different songs. Well, of course they are, no shit, Sherlock. Anyway, they just sound completely different. Amon sounds completely different. It's like you just don't hear the same thing over and over, pretty much almost. Whereas some other bands have similar sounding songs on the album. This is just completely different throughout for me. For me at least, I don't know. It's up to anyone's interpretation, I guess. Anyway. My favorite songs on the album are Different Sense, Yoku, Decayed Crow, and I think it was Shitaru Motoru, I think that's what it is. Not sure. Not sure what it was called. But it's the song after Jioku. Wait. Have a listen to Different Sense and enjoy this insane guitar solo from both guitarists. Up next, we have the album that got them famous in America, well, in the United States, but whatever. Withering to Death from 2005. This album is very special to me because this was the album that I listened to on the way to school for an entire month, just every single day on my way to school, just withering to death, just withering to death, withering to death, just every single day because of how much I liked it. Like every time I hear the opening to Merciless Cult, that I don't know what instrument it is. It's dun 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 dun. Just they go crazy with it live. That song, just they're all headbanging and just going crazy and whatever. Then it leads into the second track, C, which is I don't know how to describe that one. That one's the craziest one to me. No, it's not. No. But I like that song so much because my first name starts with a C, so I'm like, and then Saku and open up with this just scream, just come off a C, and then just when Saku starts, you just hear that intense scream from Kyo, and it just picks up from there. It goes insanely fast. And it goes into the chorus, I think that's what it's called. The that part. Yeah, I learned for my school had a music club. So I decided to learn this song for it. I've almost botched all of it. Except for parts of it, I almost botched it. Anyway. Then Kodokunai, which is my favorite song on the entire album. This song is infamous because I think it was during the tour maybe that Kyo would, cut himself on stage to this while singing it. Mostly his mouth, like, doing that and whatever. It's something alright. I don't know how to put it. And then Itoshisawa is more, calms the album down. Quieter, more subdued, but still keeps with the album's theme and whatever. And then it picks up again with Garbage. Which is a really aggressive metal anthem. I'd have to say this is an anthem. This is just something you just want to headbang and just go crazy to while at a concert. And then it goes into Mashivelism, which is the most fun song. Oh, fuck, I missed one. Oh, god damn it. No, I lied. It's Jesus. After Itoshisawa, it's Jesus, and then Garbage, and then Mashivelism. Jesus is more subdued and, well, not really subdued. It still picks up and goes crazy, and second favorite song on the album. Sorry, it was no noise going on. Anyway, I got a little excited there and completely forgot about an entire song on the album. Let me skip ahead. Next we have Dead Tree on the album, which is the one I'm going to play in this video, which has probably the most insane screams on the album, where it just sounds like he's being just killed, if anything, or burned alive or whatever. Starts out quiet, picks up, and then the screams just come and just hit you like a freaking, I don't know what to say, a train, I guess, I don't know. They just come in out of nowhere almost. And then the final is, a lament pretty much to me. Well, I view it as a lament. It's more, this is also a song that he would cut himself to on stage, which is that infamous performance at Vok in 2007. This song just hits home a little bit if you just read the lyrics. Anyone who's struggled with depression can tell you that this song would just hit you more on an emotional level when you translate the lyrics. And the final song on the album, I know I'm skipping a few, but the final song on the album is Kodu, which is another one of my favorite songs of the album. Because of what it just, because of the way it affected me when I heard it. It just changed my perception on music, and what music could be, and how I was feeling at the time, which was terrible. So it's affected me for the good, and just helped me get through it and whatever. So have a listen to Dead Tree. The next album we have is The Marrow of the Bone, which was almost a tie for my favorite, not first favorite, whatever, I don't know how to speak anymore. This album I can just listen to from track 1 to the final track without skipping a single song. With some of the other ones with some of the other ones, I kind of like to skip around, not a whole lot, just like on Withering the Death, I will maybe skip Dead Tree and Itoshisawa, maybe Garbage occasionally. But that doesn't mean I don't like the songs. No, if I'm in the mood for like Saku, I will just skip Itoshisawa and go straight to Jesus or Garbage, whatever. Like, this album almost was my favorite. Almost. When I heard this album, I liked it, but it wasn't totally like number 2 favorite Duran Gray album, second favorite Duran Gray album or whatever. I really didn't know what to think of it at the time, until I was also, again, in a really bad state and just a really depressed state. Just heard the album and it just completely just changed for me. Like, it just completely just hit me, just wow. Just, I didn't know that an album could help me get through so much than this album, out of any album I've ever heard. Like, Conceived Sorrow is literally a power ballad I think it's a power ballad. It's a ballad though. Opens up the album with the piano and the bass guitar playing slowly and whatever. Then Kyo comes in quietly. Then it picks up, like all songs do. Slows down, picks up again. And then it just hits its climax at the end, which is powerful. Something you just need to listen to once. And then it just leads into Library with a Vengeance, which picks the album up on, which just dials up to 11, that opening riff. And then at the end he literally just drops fuck over and over and over and over, just to get his point across pretty much. So Great song. But then it leads into The Fatal Believer, which is a pretty cool song, but it's not my favorite song on the album. I'll listen to it a lot, but it's not my favorite on the album. That's another song I know all the lyrics to. And then it leads into Agitated Screams of the Maggots, which is blunt force trauma in musical form, pretty much. Like, it's all there in English. I think it's all in English, from what I remember. What he is saying is insane. What he is saying is explicit in what I'm trying to say or whatever. One of the lines is, well, I can't even say it, so I better not even bother with that. I think it was... Yeah, also they have a unplugged version of this song, which is literally just a piano and him just screaming the lyrics, where it sounds like he's literally being killed again, like on Dead Tree, but this is more intense. And it's just disturbing. Then it leads into Grief, which is which is, I think, the slowest song in the album. It's like, it opens up with, "Shut up, that's fucking bullshit." Dun, 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 and whatever. And he just starts going at it in the middle of the song. It was Ko Katsu Naruhibiku, Headless Body, over and over. And then he shouts, I don't want to scream. He shouts, "I am damned," at the end of the chorus. This is another song I did for music club in my school. I don't know how I got away with it. Well, I'm not in school anymore, formally. I have no idea how I got away with this song. The way that I was doing was just insane. Well, I'm tired of saying that word. The way I was doing was almost similar to how he would do it on stage, which is just lose my mind, pretty much. Then we go into Ryujuku no Ami, I think that's how it's pronounced again, which is my favorite song on the album. Because, like I said, I was in a really bad state when I heard this album again, and that song was the one that just hit me pretty much. I don't know if anything on this album, this is the one that got me. Like, I don't know how to talk about this one without getting just knee deep. I don't want to get knee deep right now. But while he would perform this live, he would also cut himself, and whatever, he was in a bad place at the time. That's why he would do it, I think, from what I've read. Maybe, I don't know. And then after that it goes into disabled complexes. Well, hang on real quick before I do that. Ryujuku no Ami I also did for music club, which is in full Japanese, which took me months of practice to get right. And I almost forgot the lyrics while doing it on stage in front of the entire school, so yeah. Anyway, Disabled Complexes is the next song on the album, which is a funk, I guess you'd say. Funky, funk, whatever, funk. It's a weird word. Funk style song. Like, the first time I heard the song ever, I heard the opening riff or whatever. I'm like, what the hell am I listening to right now? And then it goes, just picks up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is I love this thing. Where it's another favorite song on the album. It's a fun song to me. I can jam out to this anytime. And then it goes in the Riding Route, which I think is the sister song, in my opinion, to Disabled Complexes, because it's like right after it, and it kind of sounds similar if you kind of listen to it back to back. And then Namamashiki, I don't want to say the entire title because I don't know how. This just says a flamenco ballad, yes, really on a Duran Gray record. It's another song I like. which is quieter and more subdued. I think every Dorian Gray album has their quiet and subdued moments and whatever. But flamenco. And now we get into The Pledge. And fun fact, I put this also in my school's yearbook for this year in my quote. Oh, if I can remember it. If I remember it, I will put it in the video. Right? If I remember what the quote was, I'll put it in the video. Anyway, this song is what I would say is, like, you ever I can't even word it. Like, you ever just have one of those days where it's like, where the sky is gray and just cloudy and gloomy and whatever? This song is what that day would be if it was in musical form, pretty much. It just sounds gloomy. Kyo uses his vocal range again, gets really high up there with it near the end and whatever. And then this song leads into the final 3 songs of the album, because of course it is. Well, whatever. Which are the 3 heaviest songs on the album. Repetition of the Hatred, Deeper Violence, and Clever Sleazoid are the 3 heaviest songs on the album. Repetition of the Hatred is It's All That Passion, which has, I think, I don't remember which member. It was either Kaoru, no, not Kaoru, it was either Toshiya or Dai who was doing backup vocals on this, while Kyo was doing his higher vocals. You had a guy in the back doing one of those two doing growl vocals. At least I think, I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then we move into my other favorite song on the album, Deeper Violence. The one where he's like, I don't even think of you as my friend. This is a very angry song, because of course, just from the way I was describing it. Which is the one I'm going to put in this video to show you what it is. Is something I can listen to any day, no matter what mood I'm in, even if I'm in a good mood, bad mood, terrible mood, well, depressed, pissed, romantic, I guess, I don't know. I can just put it on and just have a good time to it. And then Clever Sleazoid. This isn't my favorite version of Clever Sleazoid, if I'm being completely honest. My favorite version is on, my more favorite version is on Vestige and Scratches, their compilation record. That was released 2 or 3 years ago. Anyway, this is the one I think of when I think of how would you describe Dorian Gray to somebody who's never heard of Dorian Gray? Well, I don't want to list the reasons, but anyway, I don't know what else to say about this album, and besides vamp more and whatever. Well, have a listen to Deeper Violence. And now we have number 1, my favorite Dorian Gray album. What could top Marrow of the Bone after I just spilled my guts on you, Clever Sleazoid? But the Marrow of the Bone. Well, if you've been paying attention, for those who actually like Dorian Gray on this, who watch my videos, My favorite, you could probably tell that my favorite album is Ouroboros. Oh yeah, and real quick, up there, right there, that's Marrow of the Bones album cover right there. The album cover for Marrow of the Bones. I can't even speak anymore. Like, why is Ouroboros, jeez, it's a hard word to say, my favorite album? Well, because it was the first ever Dorian Gray album I ever heard. Everything. Dozing Green was my first ever song because of the scream at the end. That high-ass scream at the end was the first ever thing from Dorian Gray I ever heard. Because of Loudwire. Because, of course. Alright, this album opens up with the instrumental Sabir, which is, I think, Tibetan, if I remember right. Which, the intro sounds, well, it sounds like, fuck, I can't talk. The song is an instrumental Tibetan sounding song, because Sabir is Tibetan, I think. Anyway, then the next song is the longest song on the album, Vinyushka, which is, well, it's a heavy song, both musically and lyrically. It is about the Hiroshima bombing that occurred during World War II. So it's a really heavy song. It's 9 minutes long, like I think I already said. It goes as an acoustic guitar opening it up, and then full force. No, not full force yet. It just gets heavier slowly. It's a slow burn almost. Then it just quiets down. Goes back into that. And then in the middle of it, it sounds like Kyo was saying a prayer. I don't know what he's saying, but it sounds like a prayer almost. And then the song just picks up. Just, if I remember, I will put it in this video too, along with the song I'm gonna play. It's just so intense. The live videos I've seen are also intense. I've never been to one of their concerts. I know someone who's been to a concert, who's been to a Dorian Gray concert. She said it was insane. She said it was absolutely insane and fun to go to. And that song was insane to hear live for her. Anyway. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. Well, a lot of people, well, mostly Dorian Gray fans, will often say that this is one of the greatest songs ever recorded. Not just Dorian Gray fans, now that I remember, music fans in general, because of what it actually is and just what it stands for. Everyone on this planet, well, yeah, I guess, everyone needs to hear the song at least once in their life. The full song without skipping a single part. Because if you skip one part, you just miss the entire experience. The next song is Red Soil, which is shorter than, well, of course, it's going to be shorter than Venushka, which is part of the way in English, but because of his accent, some people can't tell that it's English, unless you're used to hearing accents like that, or you just know the lyrics or whatever, which then also picks up. Keep in mind, this is the album where they started experimenting with more prog metal and progressive death metal sounds. So there's growls and whatever, like that you would hear in bands like Cannibal Corpse and, well, I don't want to say, well, Suffocation. Anyway, so this often gets categorized as progressive death metal points. Red Soil has part where Kyo just has a full, just screaming fit almost, where he's just doing the high screaming, just fuck. Anyway, I'm sorry. Where he's just doing the high screaming, just, yeah, it sounds like he's just breaking down right there in the album, in the recording booth. And then we have, then after that is Dokuku. God, I can't even pronounce it. I know people who speak Japanese. God damn it, I should know this. Dokukuo, whatever. Sanru, which is a fast song. Is often the song that I will actually like listen to. Just out of all the songs in Ouroboros, I would just listen to this just alone, just out of anything on this album. And another song I will get to. Three other songs actually that I will get to. So then at the end, it just has a climax pretty much. Dun 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 dun, which is my favorite part of the album. Not the album, the song. So yeah. And then we have Toguro. God, I can't even pronounce anything anymore. Toguro, which is the slow burn song. Again, similar to Shokinabe on Bulgar earlier. This is a slow song, which I'd have to say conveys a feeling of just impending doom. You're thinking that it's just gonna pick up, but it doesn't. Spoiler alert. It doesn't pick up at all. It just has that guitar riff just going and going and going. Just ends pretty much. And then we have Glass Skin, which is the second quietest song in the album. It has pianos and whatever. It's piano driven. Which, this song impacts me in a way that I can't describe. Again, like I can't describe anything anymore. Like, I think this is the one where he broke down while he was, Kyo broke down while he was doing this live once in concert, I think, if I remember right. I'm not sure. That might have been a different song. But yeah, I don't. Moving on to the next one, we have Stuck Man, the other first song on this album I ever heard. Favorite song in the album, Stuck Man, out of everything. Like, this is the one besides Sanru that I will listen to anytime. Just of the album, just out of any song on the album. Just, if you could have one song from Ouroboros, what would it be? Stuck Man, obviously. Which is slap bass and whatever, which I think is pretty cool, being a bass player and a vocalist too on that. Forgot to mention that, but I could talk about that on here, honestly. So, anyway, this is the coolest song on the album, in my opinion. Stuck Man. It's the one. It's got everything. It's got growls, it's got high screams, regular vocals. At the end, he has another fit, I guess you'd call it, where he just starts growling and screeching and whatever, and then he does the high screaming again at the end. It's just amazing. And as an interlude where it sounds like you're just almost going through a tunnel while this song is playing, and there's mostly just drums and bass in it. So it sounds very urban, I guess you'd call it. Like, you could just hear this in like a really big city, like, I'm gonna say Osaka because it's the only one I can think of right now at the time. And then we have Riketsu Nariseba, which is another one of the heavier songs in the album, where it's primarily death growls. Another song I did for Music Club, surprised I got away with this. Had to change all the curse words to some other language, pretty much. Whew. This is another song I can just listen to anytime, along with Sunrun and Stuck Man. Like, this song is another, just hits you just straight up, just unforgiving pretty much. which also has an interlude to give you a break. So while you're getting hit by a train, the train stops pretty much, or yeah, I guess you'd say you get hit by a train, it's just, and then it just stops, goes back, hits you again. I guess you'd say it. Well, he did this live. He rips his shirt off at one of the shows. He shows off his full back tattoo, which I think is either Vishnu or Shiva. I can't remember. I like it. Then we have Ware Yametode, which is the acoustic song on the album, which is something I listened to on a walk once while passing through a forest and under trees. So it took on this other meaning for me, where I just feel like I'm in a forest while listening to it pretty much. So, it also has screams and whatever, because, well, of course it would. This is Ouroboros we're talking about. Every song on this album has a scream. At least I remember, I don't know. Anyway. Like, let me move on. Hydra 666 is another one of those full force songs that hits you. But it opens up with a bass and is really quiet and just is impending during the intro and whatever. Just dun 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 dun. And it just picks up. He shouts "Deadborn" just straight up. He's like, "I will feel pity for you." I'm not gonna do the scream or anything. All you have is just a facade. They laugh at you behind your back. This is the song that you would play for someone who's just fake, pretty much, I guess you'd call it. Where it's just any fake people in your life, play this for them, because all I have is just a facade and you were laughing at them behind their back, pretty much. That's how I interpret it. And then we have Bugaboo, which is another one of my favorite songs on the album, besides Stuck Man, which is a slower song, but is incredibly heavy at the same time. It's just like the way that every time I hear this song, I just want to go just nod my head slowly and whatever, because of what it sounds like. Well, that's the live version anyway. I just want to nod my head to it because it just sounds like that. Because it's, well, I don't want to say that. It just sounds smooth to me when it was performed, when I heard it performed on that video back in 2011. Which is also another influence on a music club, because I did this again for my school's music club, which was a fun time doing that song. The song I did perfectly, I went in my eye. Did it completely correct, didn't botch it, which is a shock to me. That's how much I love the song. And I'll do it perfectly almost. Hey, if I had to send one person, any person on this planet who's never heard of Duran Gray, a Duran Gray song, besides whatever album I said earlier, I don't remember what it was. Might have been Withering the Dead. Anyway, I would send them this, because it would give them a feel for what they are. They are a Japanese metal band. Well, I don't really need to point that out. They're just really heavy, extreme. Kyo has an insane range. Kaoru is a pretty good guitarist. Dai is also an insane guitarist. Toshiya, I'm trying to see if I can remember all the other members correctly. Toshiya is an insane bass player. Jesus Christ, that guy's insane with what he can do. And then Shinya is just the driving force behind the music, the drums, keeping everything together and whatever. But yeah, this song exemplifies it. Then we have Gaika no Chimoku, which Oh, this album brings back, I mean, this song brings back so much memories and whatever from listening to it every time I just hear that guitar riff. And when he says, these eyes opened up and understood everything. And then just screams, just like right there after that. Like, oh, every time I hear this, I just think of just being out late at night and just listening to this, well, just almost total darkness on the way back from whatever, from, well, a date, I guess you'd call it. Listening to this on the way back from a date with my girlfriend, well, while it's night, it just takes on a whole new meaning for me. This also has one of my favorite lyrics in the entire album. I think it's salute the monkey, the desires to combine with God, sex with a humanoid. I think those lyrics are cool. I don't know why, I just think they are. Out of every lyric I've heard. Oh, I sound so terrible for saying that out loud. God. Just realized that when I said it out loud, it sounds terrible. Oh, anyway. Don't get any ideas about me, please. Anyway, I just thought those lyrics were just interesting, I guess you'd say, instead of cool or whatever. And then we have Dozing Green, the first ever Darren Gray song I had. This is also a big song for me. Just when I looked up the lyrics and whatever, just changed me on another level, like they did with Meryl LeBeau and Withering the Death and whatever. Like, just the lyric, I want to be alone right now. It's just, you just got my mood right at points. It's just when I'm in certain moods or whatever, I just want to be alone. And it's the season of spring. And eyes crying, tears, I think that's where the lyrics were, if I remember right. But there's two versions of that. Well, there's two versions of that. One is in English, the other one is Japanese. So you have two listening options. I think the Japanese is better because it's more, you get a more emotional range with it, pretty much. So listen to either, I don't care. And then we have Inconvenient Idol, which is another song. And I'm gonna be honest, this is a song I haven't really heard that much, so I can't really say much of it. But what I remember from listening to it, like almost a year ago, I loved it. I can't really remember anything besides the opening guitar riff, but I just remember liking it. So here's a song from the album. It's Bugaboo. So. Well, I hope you enjoyed my longer video. Just leave it at I love this band. That's why this video is way longer than usual. So I don't know how long this is. I might have to check in editing. So, and real quick, you're wondering what the poster behind me is. Well, that's the next album ranking I'm doing on here, Marilyn Manson albums. Second tie for my favorite band. But Duran Gray, I like way almost, well, Duran Gray is my favorite band, then Manson, and then Christian Death. Those are my favorite bands. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me rant and rave about Duran Gray for about whatever, how many minutes it was. So thank you for putting up with me for that long. Hope you have a good day, and hope you maybe check out some of these albums. Withering to Death. I hope you check out some of these albums, and I hope I just opened your eyes to a whole new world of music. And see ya. Sorry.